We're live. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Is that what the YouTube people say? I don't know, something like that. Original Guide to Spooky Empire. First, we're going to apologize if there are technical difficulties tonight. We're in space, first of all, and we're using a penis pump. And hopefully... Oh, wow. Okay, hang on a second. We're getting some technical difficulties immediately. Let me...
That's NASA
Okay,
for you.
that's that.
Yeah, right? So
Yeah,
advanced.
I know.
We walked on the moon.
I blame Putin.
Hey,
Well, see,
maybe
yeah,
it was
on the moon.
Gorbachev's fault, okay? Like Chernobyl.
Oh, you're watching Chernobyl,
right.
aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, Chernobyl is a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chernobyl is a thing. All right, so yes, Original Guide to Spooky Empire, and boy, do we have a show for you tonight. We got a lot going on, so we got the dais here stacked. Say hi to Boris, who we haven't seen in a while.
Hello.
Hi, Boris.
Yes.
Hey, peeps.
What you drinking in there, buddy?
I'm alive. For now.
What you drinking?
Oh, well, I'm drinking a delicious Kawa coffee brewed right here in Tampa, Florida.
Mm.
In Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, I have heard of this exotic place before. We'll have to talk about it more later.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
There we go. Say hi to Rob. Hi, Rob.
Hi. I apologize if you hear my vibrator go off tonight. It's lodged really far up there right now, and I just don't think it's going to come out real easily. So if you hear a buzzing throughout the evening, first of all, pardon my smile, but second, eventually it'll go off. Or I will, tickle that prostate, kids.
So what are you drinking now that you've got your pleasure zone taken care of?
Just water tonight. It's that's all. That's just nothing. I'm sorry. I know everyone expects better of me. Just water. That's all.
Such a disappointment.
I know.
Hydrate, motherfucker.
And Robbie. Hi, Robbie.
What's up?
Ooh, I'm totally digging that flag behind you, by the way. That's really cool.
Thanks. We made that for the Metallica concert when they came.
Dude, that's absolutely awesome. So what are you drinking?
I'm drinking all the wine that people have been fucking whining about lately.
Perfect.
All the whining is right here.
I see what you did there.
Wine.
I don't understand.
We're a bunch of whiners tonight.
Wine.
And then we've got the international award-winning author and artist Von Bielek.
What is going on?
And what are you drinking tonight, sir?
Coffee-flavored coffee.
I like that. Oh, with yes. I dig that. Von Bielek must be destroyed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be the evening.
Woo!
It might happen sooner than later.
Well, so first of all, let's get into the disclaimer. Of course, we are a fan-run webcast. We have all attended Spooky in one capacity or another for many years. We are not suck-ups or, like sponsored by Spooky, nothing like that. This is all our own experiences, our own opinions. So if you have a problem with what we say, us, not Spooky, okay? They're not responsible for our bullshit, okay? We go to jail, they're not paying bail on us. So we obviously say a lot of shit, fuck, cock, etc. Put your kids to bed, because if you don't, well, that's not on us. And for official information, of course, always follow Spooky at spookyempire.com on their Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. So, well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. So Robbie, anything interesting going on?
Huh? I mean, yes, tons of interesting things happening in the last few weeks. We've had some announcements that I feel like it's been a roller coaster of emotions, honestly, for a lot of us on every spectrum. So tons going on.
Oh, let's just cut to the chase. It's fucking Tampa. Okay, good. We got that out of the way.
Yeah, so apparently Spooky in October and November of this year will be in Tampa for the first time ever. And I think in Spooky's 16-year history, it's shaken up the community a little bit.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, to be fair, they did start in South Florida, so
that is true.
And I was there.
yeah. So I mean, it hasn't always been in Orlando, and I think
Right.
It's just better in Orlando.
How do you know?
I guess we'll see. I mean, devil's advocate here. Let's see what happens. I'm just curious to see what happens. You roll the dice a little bit.
You know what? I still think they should have gone back to Coral Springs, Florida. You know what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The West Boca crowd that was just a few minutes north fit Spooky Empire like a goddamn glove. So
I agree. I'm with Rob.
All right. So basically, if you haven't heard the news, like I said, Spooky is moving to Tampa, the Tampa Bay Convention Center, and we're actually doing 4 days this year. It's October 31st, Halloween, through November 3rd. And
woo!
Before we get into all the going back and forth and everything, this is just a plea on the behalf of this Original Guide to Spooky Empire cast. You guys, we are all Spooky family. We're all a bunch of freaks just, going to get our freak on that weekend. Can we stop? Can we all just get along?
I would just like to say a little family fight every once in a while is healthy. If your family doesn't fight, either you're all just waiting to explode, or you're possibly a Mormon, which is also a good thing. But yeah, there's been some heated debate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said it, the other day. It's like I felt for a while there like my parents were getting divorced. It got emotional there for a minute because me. I mean, I want everybody to get along, just like how you said. I'm saying, like, I love my people. I want, whether it's here or there or anywhere. I'm just glad it's happening, and at the end of the day, I'm there for my friends and for you guys. And yeah, it made me sad to see so much bickering and fucking back and forth bullshit. Like, respect everybody's, each other's opinions, I guess. But whatever, it's the internet, so.
Even if those opinions are stupid.
Even if those opinions may not be the best opinions.
I just think that when somebody's expressing that they're not happy about some situation, and it's really just people, the main upset seems to be people not able to go to do something that they love because of geography or finance, or maybe they don't have a vehicle that will make it to fucking Tampa. Like, there's a lot of reasons. I'm a parent, and as a parent, I have to choose between going to Spooky for Halloween or being with my son for his last Halloween. So yeah, I'm a little upset and a little sensitive about it. But I think that people jumping on the page and insulting everybody is no way to represent what quote unquote spooky family is supposed to be. And at this point right now, I'm not feeling the family.
Nope.
Yeah. If I can just, let me just give Psychology 101 out to the whole world. Whether
you, Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, you're a twat.
Twat talk with Rob. Sometimes it is human nature when you're not happy to complain about something. So it's usually just temporary, as a matter of fact. When people want to complain, most of the time, if you just let them get it out, it goes away. It's when you argue that it lingers. So just let people get stuff off their chest. Let them be unhappy for a few minutes. Everything gets resolved in time. Trust me, I've been going to this convention for 15 years. I guarantee there's maybe a dozen people who have been going to this show as long as I have. Along with dementia. We've been there almost from the beginning. Every year people are bitching about something. Sometimes it's legit, sometimes it's not. Just let them get it out. It doesn't actually take any pain or energy from you just to, let them go. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. And guess what? It will stop. And it comes to a halt, and it's coming to a halt right now. So there you go, folks.
Yep.
Just let them complain and shh.
Yeah, it's been like it's almost like, and I mean, I don't want to compare it to a death because it's not obviously nothing like that, but it's the stages of grief I feel that people have gone through, the people that, and mainly, you know, in all honesty, mainly it's local people from Orlando that, like Vaughn said, in one way or another, you know, I have a similar situation. Like my schedule might not allow it because my kid is, you know, she's going to be a senior. She's got marching band competitions that weekend, and you know, I'm trying to figure it out. Do I want to go? Fuck yeah, I want to go. I mean, but I just may not make it, and if I do make it, might be just a day. So I'm just trying to work it out. But it's like stages of grief. Like we went through the shock, the denial, the anger, and now we're kind of like in the acceptance stage. And I forget, somebody somewhere said something about like, oh, not even a big name would convince me, or it had to be like a really big name to convince me to go. And I feel like at this point, you're either almost 100% that you're gonna try to make it, whatever your situation is, or you're convinced that you're not gonna go at this point. I doubt that like one giant name is really gonna make a difference for a lot of people.
Well, a lot of people are also talking about how this isn't just like one hit. There's like been a couple of hits between the Elvira thing last year, between the storm, now this. I know people that are just straight saying they're done. Like I know more than a handful that are just simply done, and it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks because you know, more than likely those people are people that have been attending for a long time.
They are.
And it's people that we know that, you know, are in the spooky fam, you know, for better lack of words. But at the same time, the convention evolving, the convention moving to Tampa, at the end of the day, it's probably going to bring more people, a different audience possibly, and for their purposes, right? Because they're a business. It's gonna work regardless.
Yeah, I think we should see it as a positive thing because of what you all said. But
oh, go ahead,
yeah,
Boris.
I mean, sorry, lost my train of thought. But I mean, it's not constructive to just complain the whole time. I don't see it as a bad thing to try something different. I mean, we've had, like you said, the storm, the thing. I mean, we've had rains that cancel parties. We've had the whole storm thing that canceled out the whole convention, and then we had to have the Christmas thing, and that was at a convention center, and that was a bigger. I mean, I don't know why this is a bigger deal than what we've had in the past, other than moving to a different city.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think different people have different opinions about it. Some people, like Vaughn and I, the parent thing might not be
I mean, that makes total sense to me.
Other people, you know, just budgeting wise, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I had the numbers of how many people that go to Spooky actually are local to Orlando versus how many people go to Spooky that are not.
Because
percentages,
I know a lot of people that are like the people opposed to the people complaining are the ones that live in Tampa that have been driving to Orlando for the last 10 years or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
it's basically I feel like it's pitted up the people from Tampa versus the people from Orlando in a sense.
There's a big rift between the people in Orlando and people in Tampa. There's always been a Tampa versus Orlando competition kind of vibe about just everything from being like a punk rock kid here in Orlando. We'd drive over to Tampa just to fight people.
Yeah.
And that was just, we were bored.
We sometimes also go to Bithlo.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
Just for the real locals, you know Bithlo, or, you know, for those of you who are going for your crystal meth, you definitely know Bithlo.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. But yeah, so I mean, I like I said, I wish I had like I knew what the numbers are, because again, because I feel like maybe the majority of people are coming from Orlando, and then the people that are outside of Orlando or Tampa may not even care either way, because regardless, they're traveling.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you know what? I have heard there's the biggest noise I've actually heard is actually from like the Jacksonville people.
Okay.
Because that's and some South Florida to a lesser extent, but for a lot of them, Orlando was kind of like that was the 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And now this went from 2.5 to 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah, totally.
Which is, and you know what? Here's the thing. 4 hours is never too far to drive to something. It's a little too far to drive home from something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that downside.
Yeah, but I mean, it's doable. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure.
I lived in Miami for I grew up in Miami and I would travel to Orlando, back and forth or whatever. So, I mean, 4 hours. We travel to Atlanta all the time. That's, whatever, 7 hours. So, I mean, I don't know. I understand everybody has their own thing.
I've
So,
heard a number of people that are not just Orlando or Tampa, but I mean, we've got people that come from the UK.
yeah,
There's
totally.
people all over the country,
Yeah.
people that come from Georgia, so it's not just Orlando and Tampa. Sure, that's, Central Florida is the home, but the demographic legitimately is from all over the place.
Absolutely,
So, I mean,
yeah.
that's I'll clarify there.
Yeah, and I feel like people that are like people from UK or outside of the country or maybe even further away might be asking themselves, what's the, what I don't understand, like what's the issue, like what's the big deal for, because they're traveling in anyway. I actually got a message from Johnny Bruh from What We Do in the Shadows after the announcement and everything, and he messaged me. He's like, oh, what's going on? Like, is Spooky okay? Like, what's happening?
Okay.
I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. I mean, it's literally, it's a drive, but he's like, oh, okay, good. Just making sure that, like nothing weird's happening. I'm like, no, everything's, for the majority, it's still happening or whatever. So people outside of the country may not understand what this all means, the moving. But for us locals, we're like, fuck,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. So aside from moving, that's the one thing, and honestly, that's one of the smaller things. We have the date that's changing. The other big thing, that it's worth mentioning, which I think I think a lot of this was kind of like a 1-2-3 punch. Instead, we all saw the ticket prices increase too, and we saw the hotel prices increase quite a bit as well. So, and I'll accept everything they've said at face value, that this was just the best they could do given what was going on. That's fine. But everyone's going to have to get ready to save up a couple extra dollars. Like I know from my perspective, this was always like Spooky was like a $500 weekend
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for my room, for my tickets, for spending money.
Absolutely.
And now that's just going to cover the hotel unless we do one of the off-site hotels.
Yeah.
So, it's
But the other thing
As a vendor, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Boris.
I was just gonna say it's the prices seem to have been going up every year. It's not like just because it's moving to Tampa, the prices are higher. I think they would have gone up no matter what.
One way or the other, I'm sure. I mean, inflation, it just happens little by little. I think maybe the jump was a little bit more of a jump rather than it being like $5. I honestly, I haven't.
Yeah, no, it is. It's the tickets have actually stayed really consistent
cool.
for the past like 3 or 4 years. I think there's maybe been like a $5 increase in tickets. The hotels have also been getting a little bit more expensive, but I mean, I think it was like $99 for the longest time, and I think it's some of the once we finally went to the Hyatt, or no, the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah.
I think that went up to about $140.
What was the Caribbean Royale at?
That was
$130.
$130. I want to say maybe $130. I mean, we ended up throwing down for the suite with a few other people, so I don't quite remember.
Too, yeah.
But isn't parking alone going to be $30 a day? I thought I saw.
Pretty much.
So
there
as
is
a
no
vendor-
such thing as cheap parking in Tampa.
Yeah, no shit.
Boris, I blame you.
I don't know.
As
I can say a lot about parking. There's a lot of ways around that because
As a vendor, though, all these price hikes are going to affect the vendors in major ways. Like this is going to be okay. So you wind up as a vendor, you wind up having your biggest problem being the signings and how much it costs for the signings and all that, and how long the people are in line versus how long they're in the room, like the vendor room. So now you tack on all of that on top of the extra price hike, and it's going to definitely affect the vendor room. So I'm very curious to see how that pans out.
Did they say which part of the convention center we're in?
I think so.
The convention part. The part where they not the bathrooms.
What a
but
twat.
where they actually keep people.
Because there's 2 floors, and then there's the second floor has the big convention halls, and those are usually split up. So I don't know how much of the convention center we're gonna have.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Nope.
Boris, you should do a walkthrough for us.
I can. You guys should come down.
Yeah,
but it's Tampa.
It's not
Okay,
that
see,
bad.
It is
here's the
boring.
thing. Boris,
We'll go. We'll all go as a group, and we'll beat people up.
I was actually just in Tampa the other night, and Ybor
we're-
City on a weekend is kind of a zoo.
Yeah.
But
But for you downtown, you got to check downtown out. It's changed a lot in the last 10 years.
yeah, probably.
It's actually going to
Here, I've
change
got
a
to
lot
jump in for a
between.
second.
Oh, go ahead. Well, you okay? Because I know you were downtown,
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be
you weren't that part of downtown. Because remember when you
Yeah,
came.
we were by the convention center.
Oh.
Boris lives across the street from the convention center, so he
Cool.
knows that area very, very well.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So
Yeah.
that's why we have him on this webcast. Yeah, it's literally
Like out the window.
Yeah, I
Like
can see it.
literally.
I actually can see it from my window right now.
And Boris, I mean, maybe he'll disagree because he's in the thick of it, literally.
Yes.
But one of the concerns a lot of people have had is, especially if you're not staying at the on-site hotel, which is one of the more expensive ones, which is the Embassy, you can stay at a lower priced hotel. And Rob dug up a lot of information on the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to be walking through downtown. Most people in a costume, in the middle of downtown Tampa, and Rob and I were down there like a year ago, and it's not one of the nicer downtown areas.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was with you guys when you came down, and we never actually went to down the Riverwalk, which is what connects all the hotels.
We did the Riverwalk. Maybe it was you weren't with.
No, we
with us.
did, but we only went north of the park. We didn't go south towards the convention
But we
center.
don't know the convention center, so
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know. We visit Boris a lot. Or
yeah,
we
do you
have in
guys
the
feel
past.
it's not safe downtown when you
I don't know,
visit me?
We'll walk the dogs late at night, across Curtis Hickson and up by the river, and let the dogs play late at night. And
Yeah.
I honestly, and I've been to different cities and stuff like that. I didn't find it that bad, but I can see how being closer to Ybor City might be kind of sketchy. I don't know how I would feel walking around there.
I mean, I literally was just walking around.
Yeah, I know, but you also live there, so I mean, you have that different sense of security.
I mean, but we've had spooky at some sketchy places where people got mugged going over to Wawa. Remember, even at Carib.
The Wyndham, sketchy as fuck.
Sketchy as fuck. Yeah, totally.
I mean, all the hotels are all located around really popular, busy areas where it's all lit up at night. It's I mean, I could safely walk there at 3 a.m. and there's going to be crowds. So
you're going to be the creepiest guy there at 3 a.m.
Even the far away hotel is really not. It's actually in the more expensive part of. There's some new condos right there. There's nothing scary in that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go towards Ybor, I mean, even that. Unless you're not gonna walk towards Ybor, you're gonna take a trolley or if you walk
or something.
And also I don't know if we want to talk about that now or later. There's a lot of transportation options other than Uber.
Throw the transportation because this is good. Let's. You can tell us about the exotic fare to find in Tampa because it's where.
Ride one of the chickens. There's chickens fucking everywhere.
There are chickens everywhere. There's the whole.
I'm riding chickens everywhere I go. I'm riding chickens.
And they're actually preserved. If you mess with a chicken, they'll arrest you.
Totally.
Oh, dude, it's like in Key West. If you fuck with a chicken in Key West, you get 30 days.
Yeah.
Well, you probably fuck with a chicken anywhere and you get some time, except for Kentucky and Alabama, but whatever.
But yeah, so I was going to say, I mean, other than the standard Uber and all your usual stuff, there's the trolley, which has become free since the last few months. So you can take that all the way from downtown all the way to Ybor City till 3 a.m., I believe. And that runs every 10 to 15 minutes. So that's a good option. Then another option a lot of people don't know about is called the Downtowner. It's an app you download, and it's basically a free Uber. All that's only in the downtown Tampa area, and they'll pick you up in a Tesla too, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it takes a bit longer, but as long as you you want to go somewhere within the next hour, they're usually pretty good.
Do you have an actual driver, or is a Tesla driving?
Oh no, it's a driver.
Oh,
it's a chicken.
Yeah, it's the same. It's basically it's basically Uber, but they'll call it, but it's free.
Cool.
chicken fuckers.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are
does it
you
have, like,
calling me a
route?
chicken fucker?
Like, what's
Yeah.
the route like?
Hmm?
I mean, what's the route like? Does it go?
There's no
Directly
route.
on
It's like
that s-
Uber. So you just
Oh, okay,
call. You
gotcha.
use an app just like Uber.
Okay.
And they'll come and
What
give you a
about the
call.
trolley? What's the route like
The
on the
trolley
trolley?
is well. Should I bring this up real quick? I mean, the trolley. 1 second.
Yeah, be fancy. Show us your.
I'll be fancy. Boom.
Yeah, no,
Ooh.
Magic.
Boris,
Ah.
Look at that.
So
Oh,
here
okay.
we have downtown Tampa. So the convention center is right over here, as you can see. And the trolley is actually, I don't know if you can see, you can't really, oh, there's the train tracks right there. So there's a stop right next to the convention center. And it'll take you from the convention center all the way to Ybor City, which is right over, it's actually really close. It's like right here. And it takes
Okay,
about
and I
like
just want
20
to point
minutes.
out those yellow dots on Boris's map. Those are where the hookers are.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So when you get to personal services, make note of those yellow dots.
exactly.
And then the green dots are the glory holes. So
There you go. Yeah, glory holes at the green dot.
thanks for doing all the research, Boris.
Exactly, but other than if you don't if you want to stay by the convention center, I mean, there's a ton of restaurants right in downtown for eating. If you don't want to go to a restaurant, there's a Publix right next to the convention center, right across the bridge.
Is that the cool Publix with the thing with the shopping carts that goes
No,
up
but
the-
that one's only a mile away. But this
That's
is
my
a nice
favorite one.
Publix too. Yeah, there's an escalator Publix.
It's an escalator Publix. So anyway,
All right.
it's fucking awesome. The carts get on the escalator thing and it like brings it. But anyway, I'm amused easily. So
But yeah, I mean, do we want to talk about all the hotels and then I could show you where they are in the map while Rob talks about them?
Rob did a great breakdown on the hotels, which we'll be posting on the Facebook probably tomorrow. A spreadsheet of all the prices because we've gone through and we've called them up and we talked about the website.
By the way, on the topic of hotels, I found a hotel that's $89.99 a night. That's really close to the convention center, but it's super sketchy.
Yeah.
You know what?
If you
Those are my favorite kind.
So if you want the classic Wyndham feel, there's a hotel called the University Inn, I believe, and it's like right across the bridge. I think it's actually, I don't know where it is, but it's like, it's one of those like where you can pay by the hour type.
Nice.
At least it looks like it. They still have a color TV sign.
Oh shit! Nice.
That's why take heed of the yellow dots.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so Rob, which hotels did you look up now that we got this?
Well,
up on the board?
I did a breakdown of every hotel that Spooky listed that is the host hotel and the overflow hotel. And then I basically gave you what the breakdown of the base cost, taxes, and then parking because they all have different rates for the parking. Someone else might want to read them because guess what? I don't have it in front of me now that I wrote it up. But what I will say is the most expensive hotel on the list is actually not the host hotel. The Embassy Suites, which is a very nice hotel, is the host hotel. It's about $239 a night after all the fees, the parking, the taxes.
You mean 139?
No, $239.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, we're not kidding. The hotels went up this year.
Jeez. Oh, so the fees weren't included in that 159?
Nope.
No, it was actually 185.
Yeah, 185 was the base. There's about
Right.
25 or 26 in taxes, and then the parking is 28 there. The Marriott's actually even more expensive, so I don't know why anyone would really want to go there because
It is a nicer hotel.
I'm sure it is.
And if you have points and shit, or
That's true.
or whatever, I know some people have the points.
I go there just for the free water.
That sounds like the only thing there that's free.
Yeah, they do that. They do like the flavored water.
I'm for sure taking home a chicken at these prices.
Right? But as you can see, the convention center is connected to the Embassy Suites by this bridge right here. So that's the close. And then the Marriott's right next to it, right here.
Marriott was almost as close.
Yep. What's the next one? Sheridan?
Weston.
Yeah, Weston's actually that was the only one that includes the parking with your hotel. That's at least according to the website. So don't quote me on that, but that's, when you click that link, it says parking included. So
Rob said that you guys included parking, so
yeah, you know what? Drop my name.
I'm gonna just give them your number.
Look, if drop my name, if they don't give you free parking, they'll give you a free hand job. That's my guarantee to you.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Wait, what balloon is that on the map? Which balloon is that?
That's blue. That's blue.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I don't know where the Weston is actually. But for parking, this garage right here, that's where I always park when I go to a convention. And I think you can park all day long there.
Whatever. You even drive to the fucking convention?
Actually, yeah, when I have a big costume. If I have a costume or
fucking
something.
zip line across your window.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking
He zip
paraglide.
lines from Tinkerbell down to the Disney castle.
One chicken on each hand.
Suits.
Stuff a chicken.
Double chickens.
Double chicken.
Double chickens.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Choking a chicken in each hand, folks.
What about this guest list? We're going to talk about these guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to get
It's a long
to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Because we've given you all the positives as far as
We have a
Tampa,
list.
but you do want to bring up some of the concerns because we've talked to a lot of different demographics.
Cool.
The out-of-towners, people that are in Florida, over the pond. It isn't just the geography. The geography is kind of lower down on the concern list. Number one was the hotels because the rates have gone up.
You better get roommates.
Yeah, you got to get roommates, unfortunately. The parking, which is $30 a day, and we've heard rumors that
sounds like a lot.
Center has very limited parking, only like a few hundred spots. So that may be in it too.
Well, this garage right here, I'm sure that'll fit everyone, unless there's something big going on at the arena. Whenever I went,
that's one of the other concerns there.
Because that's not the convention garage. The convention garage is inside the convention center, but this is another big garage everyone usually parks at. The one next to the embassy suites.
Got it.
And
Do you know how much parking is?
I think it was like $10 a day or something.
So
it wasn't
probably
that
jack
much.
it up to like 20
Yeah.
because
But
it's an event or something.
Yeah, they'll jack it up.
Yeah, they'll jack it up for sure.
But if you don't mind walking a little, you can park at the meters for a lot cheaper. And if it's a weekend, they're usually free, depending on where you park. And on that same note, there's another app you can download called Park Mobile. I don't know if they use that in Orlando, but it lets you pay for all the meters or lots from your phone instead of having to go back to your car every time. And it'll notify you when time's about to expire, so you can just. That's what I usually use if anyone's staying with me or something.
Okay. And by the way, we're all staying with Boris.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You can if you want. I only have one bathroom though.
Yeah. No, but you know what? The pool and the gym and all that shit, they have a bathroom.
Who cares if he doesn't have? He only has one bathroom. He's got a balcony.
I do.
Just
It does have a balcony, and it has AstroTurf for.
It does.
It does. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but some of the other concerns people had, like I said, downtown Tampa, which on a Halloween weekend, we already talked about, Halloween, how it could, tip the scales for some people.
Yeah, that sucks because you got to choose either you're going to do Halloween, like if you're a family again, like you choose like having to do Halloween at Spooky, like that doesn't. It's always good to have it, at, I don't want to spend Halloween at a convention.
Boris, I have a question for Boris.
Yeah,
I know in a lot of downtowns, like if Halloween falls on a weekend, there's kind of like Halloween going on all weekend long.
Right.
Does that happen in downtown Tampa?
I know downtown itself has always been kind of dead on Halloween, but Ybor City, like I've gone there during Halloween a few times, and that's like pretty packed. Like there's people in costumes all up and down the streets. I don't know if they're gonna do. They probably will be doing Halloween parties at all the bars, and I'm sure the castle's probably gonna do something for spooky. Hopefully.
What is the castle? Is that like medieval times?
Sort of.
Yes.
Is that where you eat the chickens?
Basically,
It's definitely for chickens.
It's definitely the spooky crowd. It's like a. You've never been there?
I
You've
think we're
been.
being facetious at this
Oh,
point.
Yeah,
okay.
we're totally
I mean,
being facetious.
We know what the castle is, but for those
It's
people
the
that
home of
don't
the
know-
senator.
It
It's definitely-
is.
Oh my God!
Is
That's
Peter
all-
Pan still there? Though is what I need to know.
He
I
is.
think
He
is.
is.
Then that's all you need to know. Is Peter Pan, chickens, and the senator.
And I think the shoe licker guy's there too.
Oh,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Just
will
know-
be.
You know you can bring your own flogging instruments. Just know that you can
Yeah.
do that. They are allowed. You can bring your own instruments.
I never go anywhere without them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, when we've visited him, Boris in the past, the castle is definitely a fun place. It's I guess for those people that don't know, it's a club, right? It's a club with, I think it has like 4 or 3 different areas where they'll play different kinds of music.
Yeah, there's like
And,
4 areas, like
yeah, like
4
4
bars,
areas.
2
There's an
floors.
upstairs.
Is it like country and western music?
It is.
It depends
Country
on the
or
night.
Western.
Both kinds.
Thank
Same
you,
time.
thank
Both
you.
countries. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, from new wave to alternative to industrial and all
Mhm.
sorts of shit. And we've attended the vampire ball, and we've just gone on an off night. It's always fun. It's definitely good people watching. They have like a dungeon area,
Yep.
and they do have like one of those. And pardon my ignorance, those cross things where you can like get tied up, and they like
Like in Game of Thrones.
one of those things.
Blood Eagle.
That thing, yeah,
Yeah.
that spread eagle thing, whatever. The spread chicken thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blood
But
chicken.
anyway,
Yeah, glory
blood
holes.
chicken, the glory holes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like the aesthetic in there. It's cool. It's fun. I've never
Fun.
had a shitty time there. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple
cool
cool places.
Yeah, I just want to take a second and read some of the comments that we have in the chat room because
Oh,
people
shit.
are in the chat room and
I haven't even
Oh,
looked.
letting us know what they think. Oh, let me look if my window will
I
click
wonder
over.
if I can
Scared.
see that on the screen here.
Okay,
You probably can,
I
yeah.
used to go to Mexican every year, and my friends and I never felt safe walking through downtown. You did get followed, you did get harassed, you did get catcalled. That is true. That's happened to me a few times in downtown Tampa as well.
Yeah, but that's gonna
let's see,
happen anywhere.
Downtown
I mean, if
Ocala,
you're hot,
they're
if you're
monsters.
hot,
Yeah.
Coral Springs.
I think
Fuck! Oh my God, Coral Springs. I
There's a
won't
lot-
walk there wearing tight pants.
there's a lot
No.
of there's definitely a lot of normies here, but I think it's cool to get all the spooky people out here and get them all riled up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. When we're all there, we're probably going to be the majority. So just stick together in groups, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Then Geek Will Order says the parking garage near the embassy is $10 for the day. I've never seen it jacked up for any con I've been to the entire time.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. As a small group of young women walking 5 blocks alone, it could be scary and feel unsafe. I can understand that. I mean, even when we were in downtown Tampa last year, even as a woman, it was good I had a couple of guys with me. It's because there were some pretty sketchy characters hanging around. So I will say that.
Well, I'm an intimidating dude. You know,
What?
if I'm there, people run. Even if I'm wearing tight pants.
Especially if you're wearing tight pants.
No.
Yeah, but those were a number of things that people were concerned about, and there were also
Yeah.
I spoke to one person who was a home haunter, who on Halloween they do big production every year, and so now for people that do that, they kind of have to decide between that and spooky. So it's like that's something. It's not just the geography.
No,
Or
it's
at least
not.
the first day or two spooky. You
Yeah,
can
I
probably
mean,
still
that's-
make it for your Saturday and Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's our thing too. Regardless of whether I find somebody to come and help me with the kid and dogs and all that shit, we do Halloween out. We scare the shit out of the kids
Yeah.
in the neighborhood. We give out
We
candy.
are-
So for us, Halloween is definitely out. And
Yeah.
if we make it, it may be maybe Friday night, possibly Saturday, depending if I can get some help with the schedules. and
Yeah,
stuff.
my wife Jen can't even come at all because one of us has to be here. So we had to choose between her or I going. I know you guys would rather have her there, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
you're stuck with me for the
Uh,
event. But it sucks that we had to choose. Like one of us had to choose whether or not we could go at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we talked about it too.
Yeah.
Nate and I, we talked about it, like, because I'm like such a diehard. I'm like, fuck, man, I want to go. And he's like, well, somebody's gonna stay behind, and it's like, oh, that would suck if we'd have to split up. But
If
I
we
mean,
had
whatever.
jetpacks by now, this would be much less of a problem.
Right?
Oh shit!
Or fucking teleporting.
But it's like it's a third of my yearly income. So
Yeah,
No
and that's
shit.
the
Yeah,
thing
gotta
about-
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta make it.
No, that's one of the things I wanted to ask Vaughn from the perspective of a vendor, because from what I understand from the vendors, they're actually charging more this year. That's
Yeah.
one of the other prices that went up. Because the vendors have to pay more, does that mean it's possible that you may have to charge more for some of your items? Or, I mean, how is that going to work, I mean,
I'm personally going to keep my.
You understand what I'm
Yeah, I'm personally not going to jack up my prices because somebody else jacked up theirs. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
just understand
definitely
how hard it might be as a vendor paying more. This way you have
Yeah.
to make more just to break even.
well, for me, I have a different work ethic, I think, than a lot of people. So what I will do is I'll just hustle harder, and that's fine for me because I enjoy doing it. But there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that are not like I am as far as their salesmanship or how they talk to their clients or how they talk to people at the convention or whatever. You know me, I'm never sitting down. I'm always standing up. I'm always talking to everybody that comes to my table. I'm always pushing. And there's a lot of people that don't have that in them, and that's fine, but it's going to definitely affect them. So they'll be paying out more. A lot of people are going to walk out of there, not in profit mode. That's for sure.
I know. Okay, that's something else that like a couple of people have brought up that I was very curious about, because that's something we wanted to do here.
Yeah.
We wanted to cover all the bases, like the prices of the hotels, the parking, the safety of the area. If you're actually going to be walking it, the date. If downtown is going to be crowded because there's going to be a lot of Mondays celebrating Halloween, is that going to make things worse? Are there other events going on in the area that are going to make parking more difficult? These are all things we have to think about. So whether if you're going, awesome. If you're not, we're sad that we're not going to see you, but we just wanted to lay it all out there with both sides, everything to consider.
Well, I mean, on a positive note, I from what I've seen on pages and from the Spooky Camp, Wyndham the March or April show or whatever, the spring show will be at the Wyndham next year. So for those people that we won't see, we'll definitely and somebody suggested that we call it the family reunion. So I think that would be fucking awesome. Yeah.
But when you're at the Wyndham, don't go to Wawa because you'll get
Don't go to
stung.
Wawa.
True.
Unless you're in a group.
Unless you're in a group.
Buddy
like
system.
Yeah.
12 adults.
Good
Are
luck
there
finding
adults at
those
Spooky
there.
though? I don't think I've ever seen an adult there.
Good luck finding
It's
that.
a myth.
Yeah. Good luck finding an adult.
Urban legend.
Stranger
Totally urban
danger.
legend.
Well, I think this is
All right.
guest time.
Yeah. Well, Rob, go
Yes
ahead.
time. All right.
Let's do it.
Cool.
All right. So,
Bring up the
definitely-
guests.
yeah, we definitely want to end, it's not, we'll go toward a very positive direction. And Spooky, after all the initial shock, they let that die, and we finally got guest announcements this week. And first one is 8 years in returning, Bruce Campbell.
Woo.
Yay.
Yay.
You might know Bruce from Briscoe County Jr. He's done
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
Congo.
He showed up in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. He did a couple independent horror films that no one really saw.
He
But
doesn't-
you know what? We love him. Well, some of us love him.
yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Anyone?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone?
no, for sure.
I
Absolutely.
just
We're
saw him in
excited.
Congo. He's awesome in that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nah, dude, we're
Well,
excited.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, it was interesting when Bruce came the first time at the very first Mayhem. I think he was like the only guest there. I mean, it was literally
Oh,
the
he was
original
the reason
Mayhem was
they had it.
yeah, exactly. Petey wanted him as a guest, so we had the Bruce Campbell Con. They called it Mayhem, and it was kind of crazy just because it's like this was the whole thing for him. But people loved him, so it worked out well, I guess. And yeah,
Yeah,
what was
I'm
that,
excited. I've
Demi?
met him.
What was that?
There were other guests there.
Yeah, Ted Raimi was there.
Yeah.
No, there were some cool guests there that year. I remember.
I don't
Well,
I think Robert Englund was actually there that year.
really, that first year, I don't remember anything about that year.
God, me neither. I'm so like behind. What
I
year
can't
was
believe
that?
that was like 8 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah,
8 years ago.
folks, we're old.
I know. God.
They kind
Our
of like
pubes are getting gray.
they melt together in a way that
Your
you have
pubes?
to remember. Yes.
All of
If
ours.
you have any.
Not,
No, but
fruit
like the
pubes.
conventions, they kind of like melt together that you have to almost like remember the crazy shit that happened. It was like that was that convention where that crazy thing happened to be able to remember exactly what it was and forget the year. I don't know.
Well, was that 2011?
That was 2011. That was the
2011.
Mayhem one. Yeah.
Let's see. I think
At the
Linda
Wyndham.
Hamilton was there that year.
Yes, that was my first year.
Or no, I have it
Linda
here.
Hamilton.
Oh, Norman Reedus was there. Yeah, I'm
That's
looking
right.
at the pics.
The
Joe Bob Briggs was there.
No, that was the
That's right.
next year.
Was
no,
it?
that was
2011?
That was the first.
Oh, that may have been
was the-
October.
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds right.
The
Hmm.
Charmed cast was there because that's what I went for.
Oh,
Brian
were you
Krause
there?
and Holly Marie Corn. Yeah, that was my first one of
Hmm.
Mayhem of 2011, I
God,
think.
I've known you that long? Oh yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, and aside from Bruce, we do have the we have Ted Raimi. Ted, who basically, if Bruce Campbell's in a movie, so is Ted Raimi. That's and maybe a smaller role perhaps, but that's always has Ted for the record. One of the best just overall convention guests you're gonna find, even if you don't really care about his movies or his roles. Ted's funnier than hell. I'll just tell you, a long
Rob, you
time
got-
ago, at my very first Dragon Con back in 2002, Ted was the MC of the Dawn costume contest. I was dressed in drag, and Ted was very impressed. He kissed my hand almost. I don't want to say he was all over me,
but he was
kind of
all
a little
over
bit. He spent extra time with me that the other girls did not get.
you. Nice.
Yeah,
So.
he got invited back to Ted Hotel though.
Maybe.
Did you have your long,
Maybe.
like luscious hair back then?
I wore a wig that year.
Allegedly.
The hair hadn't grown out all the way yet.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
Yeah, don't
I wonder what color that balloon would be on MapQuest.
You say MapQuest?
What color would that balloon be? Rob,
rainbow,
rainbow? Nice.
Yeah, maybe
Pink,
pink.
I think it's pink and
Fuchsia.
brown.
Taupe? Definitely not taupe.
No.
Anyway, so Ted is there, Bruce is there, and logic states that if the two of them are there,
Maybe,
director
allegedly.
Sam Raimi.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Does Sam Raimi do
you know,
conventions?
Yeah, they do them together.
Right now, the three of them have actually done a few shows
Oh,
together.
well then,
Yeah.
probably, because he wasn't there last time.
Yeah, they're all
No,
under the same
last time he
booking
was still.
company.
Were they still doing Spider-Man movies in 2011?
I don't know. They may have done Drag Me to Hell.
That was probably going on, but yeah,
What about
these
that?
days the three of them do a lot of shows together. It's more common to actually see them together. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sam ends up being that third
That would be
guest announcement.
Allegedly, we don't know. It's not official, so
No,
Yeah,
not
no,
official.
no.
Definitely not official. But they're all three of them are under the same booking company, Dangerous Entertainment. I follow them on Facebook, and they also have Rose McGowan and a bunch of other people from Evil Dead, the TV series. So I'm like interested to see who's coming next. Like, who are they going to announce next?
I also still maintain that Paul Stanley will be coming.
No.
He'll be there. I don't think
No.
I don't think they can afford Gene Paul. I think it's going to happen. Mark my words.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Paul's
I'll have to
wig.
get that, obviously.
Look, I'm just saying Kiss has a 2-month gap where they're not touring on their farewell tour from September to November. Right in the middle, they could show up. Just saying.
Maybe like one of the Kulik brothers, but no.
But going back to Ted Raimi for a second, interesting note for those of you that are Clive Barker fans, if you've seen Midnight Meat Train, I just noticed the other night that Ted
Love.
Raimi's
Yeah, he's in that, right?
So
He's
good.
Yeah.
just long enough to bleed.
Yeah. He's
No
in some-
spoilers, damn it.
God damn it, that movie's so good.
Look, the movie's called Midnight Meat Train. I don't
Oh,
think if I say
fucking
someone
love it.
bleeds, that's a shock.
It's also my stripper name.
Except the ending.
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds also like a porn name, so I mean, it could be, you know.
You know
Whatever.
what? Maybe that's what they should have called the new, when Spooky moves, Tampa, the Midnight Meat Train. That's
That's the trolley.
The Midnight Meat Trolley.
there we go. That's the goal. We all have to get a picture on the trolley at night, and it is entitled the Midnight Meat
Midnight
Train.
Meat Trolley.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done,
Rob,
son.
we have a question for you from the chat room.
Yeah.
They want to know if you were invited to Ted's personal TED Talk.
Wait. Can you repeat that, please?
They want to know if you got invited to Ted's personal TED Talk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, and I let him speak directly into the microphone. It's a penis joke, folks. There you go.
As the penis pump goes off.
There we go.
Apologies about that. Shannon says, when it comes down to everything, save a little bit of money and try to get some of your spooky family to share a room with you. As a parent, my son wants to come again, but he's 19 now. I'm excited. That's awesome.
Oh, let me
Fuck yeah.
real quick.
Oh, and,
I do have one hotel note about the Embassy Suites. The one thing that you'll hear as an advantage about staying at the Embassy Suites, they do offer a free breakfast and free cocktails for happy hour. And the breakfast is actually good. It's like they have an omelet bar. At least the ones I've stayed at. I've stayed at a couple Embassy Suites over the years. It's not like the La Quinta free breakfast where they have like stale cereal, unripened fruit, and yogurt sitting in melted ice. Their breakfast is really good, and again, and their bartender's usually pretty generous too with whatever they're pouring. However, what they usually do is they have drink tickets, maybe passes for breakfast as well. It's not just as simple as showing your key. So if you're going to do the thing where you book a hotel room for 2 people, but you actually put 12 in there, only 2 of you are going to get breakfast. So decide that ahead of time, and be prepared to fight for your pancakes. Be prepared to have a sausage fight. It's gonna just decide that ahead of time. Don't let things get ugly.
See, what you do is you just bring some Ziploc bags in your pocket, and then you bring enough for everybody, Rob.
You know what? If I'm putting meat in my pocket, I'm gonna keep it for myself for later.
Back to the Raimi story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I wanted to say something about the hotels too. I was speaking to another vendor a couple weekends ago, and they're getting an Airbnb, which I've never done it, but when I look, it's super interesting and pretty cheap actually. So I mean that could always be an option. And sometimes when you get an Airbnb, I know you can get a kitchen, so you can probably save some money if you wanted to cook, because we cook. So, but Airbnb, right? That's the thing.
It's an option. You do prepare to Uber in, so also factor in that cost as well. Or trolley. Yeah, I mean,
trolley.
Most of the Uber, most of the cheap Airbnbs that I've seen, they're outside of the downtown area. So
Okay,
the
gotcha.
trolley
So you look
not going to cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But they're probably in Ybor or something. There's probably some cheap ones over there.
I'm definitely not going to sneak back in and sleep under my table every night.
Not at all. Never.
That's definitely not going to happen.
Somebody needs
But,
to
one
bring
of the
Vaughn
things I
some
wanted to bring up
meat
about
in
the
a
embassy
Ziploc.
is the free breakfast. One of the things I wanted to mention about the free breakfast at the embassy. How many of you ever get up before noon at Spooky? Come on now.
I do.
Okay, so
Yes,
you get
Max,
the
you
free
have
breakfast.
to.
Nobody
Volunteers too.
Not
Give me a tater
willingly.
tot.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But also, we have someone in the chat room that is asking Boris if he's seen Chernobyl.
Not yet. I've seen it like in person, but not the movie.
Really?
Yeah, that's a sore subject for Boris.
Not really, but yeah.
You said-
I was
you
3.
gave me sad face.
I
You
was
gave
in
me sad
Ukraine.
face.
I was there when it happened.
Tell us a story.
Well, I was.
That explains so
I
much.
was a little,
It does.
a wee bit lad.
A
So,
wee babushka? No, it's a wee. No.
How do you say kid in Russian?
Ребенок.
What?
I'm not
Oh,
gonna repeat
and
that.
Vaughn, there's a question for
Google
you.
it.
Are you not taking the Alex Vincent option?
What was that?
Oh, sorry. In the chat room, they're asking if you're going to take the Alex Vincent option.
Yes.
He lives in Tampa.
I said it. I'm waiting for them to announce fucking Alex Vincent. I
Right.
mean,
Alex
I'm
doesn't
waiting,
get
I'm
announced.
waiting.
No, actually, he
Yeah,
did
he
get
does.
announced at
He
the
did
last
get
show,
announced.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, there have been years where he did not get an announcement. He just was like, he showed up on the
Just
page. one day.
there. That's the best.
Well, also there's a Chucky movie, right, coming up.
Yeah, no. His we've made jokes about Alex in the past. The fact is, his star has risen. Chucky's, back strong, and he's been a part of that. So, Alex is doing
He's
well
fun.
for himself. Alex, we
Yeah.
love you. Congratulations,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he's fun.
We're happy that you've gone from doing okay to doing really good to doing like fucking knocking it out again. So that's
Yeah, for sure.
Is he in? He's not in the new Chucky movie though, is he? The one that just came. The trailer just came out.
I don't think so, but I mean, just because.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Just because, I mean, he was the OG, so.
Yeah, even just
Exactly.
awareness.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
has anyone seen that trailer yet?
Yeah, it's
I
terrible.
saw part of
Chucky,
it.
Chucky looks pretty weird in it.
Yeah, CG. Not
No,
happy.
CG. Is it
Is it?
CG? It's
It
just
looks pretty
he's supposed to
CG.
be a robot, so I think it just
Oh.
looks yeah.
Ugh. All right.
We'll
Well,
see.
Oh,
my phone's dying, so I got to go soon.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, we were going to wrap this up because we wanted to give a shout out to everyone that's at MegaCon this coming weekend.
Oh,
So
yeah.
MegaCon-
Yeah. If you're at MegaCon this weekend, we hope you're doing well. We hope you got vaccinated. We hope you got your shots.
Did any guests show up?
3 did. 2 of them have herpes.
One's Bruce Campbell, the other one's a Raimi, and the other one's a.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you're there, if you're at MegaCon this weekend, don't get an STD. Which you can get with the water fountains there,
Or get a new one.
and the snail tracks on the floor. Don't step on those. It's don't just go there, have fun, stay healthy. That's all we ask. Make sure you get tested before you come to the Spooky though, because we don't want any MegaCon germs.
Pet furries.
Hmm.
Please do not pet the furries.
No, don't pet the furries at MegaCon.
No,
Mm-hmm.
bad. But yeah, no, MegaCon, they had like 6 guests cancel in like the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks. So I don't know who's there. I think that the
They're all-
cast of Boy Meets World is
But
there.
they're
and
all
that's
pretty.
about it.
They do have Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, and Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J.
Fox.
Fox.
Kiefer
And,
Sutherland honestly does cons all the time now. I don't know if he got like divorced and lost all his money, but like he works the cons now. And given that guy was on 24 for like 24 years,
He lost all his money on that country band he started.
Oh my god.
it could be it.
It was awful.
I wouldn't mind meeting him. They should bring him to
Yeah.
Spooky.
Peter
sometime.
Weller's there.
Fun fact about Kiefer Sutherland, you know what he does when he takes his picture? He'll get up on his tiptoes so he looks a little bit taller.
Oh, nice.
He'll pop
just
up.
wear heels, like Sylvester Stallone does.
There you go.
He's so
Maggots,
mean.
Michael.
Oh.
It's maggots.
Yeah, so we hope we've given you a pretty balanced look at the pros and cons of the move and, the excitement about the guest announcement.
Yeah.
And, we'll be giving you some good stuff to think about. We'll be posting on the Facebook page, so, share with us your opinions, your cons, all that good stuff. And make sure you reserve chickens.
Yes.
That's the thing. We're going
If anyone has any more Tampa questions, feel free to message me or something.
Hey, and thanks for having me on here, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Vaughn, always a
Yeah.
pleasure.
I
Always.
always appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr.
Yeah,
Library of Congress.
VaughnBLack.com, cool stuff like this, and his book
Like a
is
photo
amazing.
behind you.
Yeah, I think we should have Boris on again before October for sure, though, because he's got he really does.
Absolutely.
He knows that city in and out.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've been in Tampa for like 25 years now, and I've been downtown for 12. So
Yeah.
Condolences.
not that
If you ever want to go to Buffalo, let me know.
Yeah, come to Orlando.
I do.
He does.
Like twice a month.
We'll take you to the races in
Stop.
Buffalo.
Oh, you don't come to see us, motherfucker.
I know, right?
Yeah,
bitch.
what do you
He
do
goes to-
here
he
now?
goes
Are
to
you
go
here
see
for the
fucking mouse.
museums?
No, he goes to
Yeah.
see the mouse.
He's not
Right.
fucking
Straight up.
chickens, I'll tell you that.
Shh.
Traitor.
Oh, we got swans here. We have swans in Orlando.
Yeah, they got swans in Lakeland too.
Ah,
Oh,
Touche. Touche.
One question before we wrap this up, though.
Yeah.
What do you think is the one thing about this whole situation that probably you know, but most people don't know that we probably need to know?
Bye, Rob.
That say that again. What I
Okay.
know that most don't know.
Oh yeah, you live there. What's something that everybody probably should know that they don't know?
It's not as bad as you think, especially downtown Tampa. Downtown Tampa is where they're pretty much putting all their money, so it's really nice, and it's been improved in the last 10 years. It's just growing so much. Just the area around the convention center, they're probably gonna add maybe 2 or 3 restaurants and bars and stuff before October to that area where people hang out right outside of the convention center. And there's a ton of
A
stuff
lot of
to do.
breweries and stuff.
Yeah, and there's some new places
Some good
just
food.
opened up that are pretty cool. So yeah, don't stay. Just walk around, explore the city, check it out. There's some cool stuff out there.
All right, good to know.
Someone just
The chicken.
messaged me.
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned to the Facebook page. We're going to be posting lots of cool stuff in the next few days and whatnot. And oh no, I think the midnight meat train is coming in. Hang on.
Oh God. Ah, do I see it?
Or
not
is it?
again.
What is that?
It's the roast
Yeah.
beef sandwich.
It's a sylph.
Now I got to go put bleach on my face. All right. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Boris. Thank you, Robbie. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And peace.
See ya.